Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. You might be familiar with Taizé music. Taizé refers to an ecumenical monastic community in France, and they have developed simple musical refrains and chants that are used in worship the world over. One you might know, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Less well known is the Iona community. It, too, is an ecumenical worshiping community on the island of Iona on the western edge of Scotland. Like Taizé, they have developed their own liturgy and music. The leader of the group says, "This is not a hotel or a conference center. People come for reflection and inspiration and to explore issues of importance, the environment, poverty, migration, equality, in the context of a Christian community and in a beautiful, rugged landscape." Our theme this week is not only a weekly one, but one we are reprising throughout the year. The church maintains a calendar of great men and women of faith and remembers their lives on their death days, their birthday into heaven, and it lifts up their lives as examples to inspire our faithful living and our bold witness. So for 1 week each month this year, I'm lifting up a few of those who are remembered and telling you about their stories. This week we are focusing on the women and men of great faith that we remember in June. Today, let me introduce you to Columba. Columba's origins are based in the Irish Church, which was organized differently than your typical Roman Catholic Church. It was more primitive and tribal, and didn't have things like bishops and cardinals. It was rural, part of a more rude society, and emphasized right living rather than elaborate theology. The Irish monasteries were like Christian colonies in a pagan land, something of an experiment for practicing Christians who were living the faith and trying to live with virtue. Columba was born into that system in 521, becoming a priest in 551, and rather quickly he established several churches in Ireland. Then about 563 he and 12 companions left and established a community on the island of Iona on the western edge of Scotland. This monastery served as a center for missions to the Irish who had settled in Scotland, but also to the local and native peoples as well. Columba lived there for over 30 years, establishing monasteries and evangelizing the mainland. There is a legend that once Columba rebuked the Loch Ness monster and commanded it to cease its vicious ways after it had killed one man and was about to attack another. Columba was a powerful personality and a great open-air preacher. He was a great organizer and something of a poet as well. His contemporaries extolled him for the integrity of his life, not only talking the talk of faith, but also walking the walk too. He died on June 9th in 597. A few centuries later, Viking raiders ravaged the island, but throughout centuries of unsettled times and different invasions, the reputation of Iona as a holy place flourished, and many of the nobility were buried there. The current Iona community draws its inspiration and depth from what Columba started. A woman named Evelyn Underhill published her papers, and she tells of speaking to a gardener on Iona about the beauties of the island. "Yes, mum," he said, "Iona's a very thin place." Asked what he meant by that, he explained, "Well, on Iona, mum, there's very little between you and God. That's part of the heritage left by Columba. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.